St. Joseph's College picks up a 13-6 victory, all points scored in the fourth quarter. I'm here with victorious coach Dan Day. Coach, nice victory. Not much going on for about 3 quarters and a half of the game. What were you looking for? I know with the field conditions, you're looking for an opportunity. What finally broke for you to kind of get through?
I have to first and foremost give all the credit to Coach Potier. I mean, that defense, wow. I mean, the way they played, the mistakes they made week one, especially in the run game, and then coming out here and cleaning those up. And, you know, if you look at that fourth quarter, you know, what they did, red zone stop after red zone stop after red zone stop. And, you know, when AB finally, you know, pushed one through on them, you then look at that PAT, and the defense didn't quit. They didn't give up. You know, they're out there for the PAT block, and Demarius Wright, his pressure off the edge forced another bad kick, which he did all day. And that, in turn, right there, that's a momentum swing, you know, back to our favor in such when they had a drive that they just kind of pounded that, you know, that defense really helped put the momentum in our favor, and the offense came out and answered today.
What's the early report card week 1 to week 2?
You know, the effort portion, which is awesome, is these kids are playing their hearts out. I mean, that's something we talk about, that you don't really coach. That's got to come from within, and those are things that you feel like can, in the long run, make you a special team and a special football program year in and year out. So right now they have that, but I think cleaning up the mistakes, the belief on each side of the ball, you know, offensively, it's at any point there, you know, going in that fourth quarter, the defense could have, you know, get a little bit down on you, you know, because you've had some chances and couldn't put it together, but they didn't, you know, even when we took the field down 6-0, they believed in us, and that is the biggest thing I would tell you. I really felt stronger this week was that overall team belief that we were going to get it done.
Field conditions, obviously a little soggy. You obviously prepare for dry field conditions. So how many adjustments did you make pregame, knowing that some of the stuff you probably worked on was not going to be as successful with the footing?
We honestly, coming into this week, we had an entirely different game plan. We really did. And I mean, we checked the weather, obviously, heading into it, and we expected it to be wet, but we didn't quite expect, you know, what it was today. So I think that was another part that you saw, that change in the game plan about Series 2, Series 3, when, you know, we had to adjust, and we got out of some of our heavier personnel, spread them out, really just to continue to run the ball in the box. But spreading it out really helped just open up some running lanes, because it's honestly, it's really hard to actually push anybody in there in those conditions. You more just kind of have to get in their way and let the backs do the rest. So we kind of just opened it up and still took some shots with Phil, you know, but you could tell early with the conditions, and sometimes if you have a quarterback that doesn't necessarily have big hands, they can struggle in these conditions, and that's something we saw with Phil. So I tried to pull back on the play calling a little bit of him, you know, pushing those shots, and really with how well the defense played and how much faith I have in Coach Potier getting those guys going, I wanted to play early a little more of the field position battle and making sure we weren't putting them in bad positions.
You kind of mentioned he spread it out a little bit there, and I noticed last week Phil got knocked around pretty good. Was it tough to call some of those draws and get him back in the middle of things?
Some of that early or later in the game, he wanted it. He really did. He wanted it. He said, let's, you know, spread that box a little bit. I think I'll be comfortable to either take quick 3-step if it's there to the boundary. If not, just go ahead and go get 5 or 6. And our line really, with how fast their defense is, I mean, this defensive line is unbelievable. They are really, really good players, and the field kind of can neutralize a fast D-line, and our O-line did a much better job of just don't be over aggressive, just stay in front, you know, and they gave him a lot more time today and helped open up those lanes for him to go make some of those plays with his feet.
As you say, you see the biggest improvement week 1 to week 2. What's in store for week 3?
I really want to see this team now approach this week with the attitude like you lost. You know what I mean? It's sometimes it's harder with the win, because in football and sports are it's all psychological, you know, and you don't want your guys to feel like from one win they're the greatest team on earth, because if you get that feeling, that's when you have a letdown after that last week. And after one loss, you don't want them to feel like they're the worst team on the earth. So you got to find that balance, and you do that by have a philosophy, stick to that, and make sure our guys believe in attention to detail, that discipline and hard work that we're going to bring each and every day to the practice field.
St. Joe wins 13-6 over Alderson Broaddus, moves to Great Lakes Valley Conference play next week in Liberty, Missouri against William Jewell. Coach Day, thank you for joining us on the Puma Presser.
Thank you very much.